gentlemen, I've had the privilege and the pleasure. I've had the privilege and the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Gadkari very often over the last 10 years. So it's welcome back to the IBLA stage, Mr. Gadkari. It's wonderful to have you here. Since we are talking about awards and we're talking about leadership, political leaders के लिए sir पुरस्कार का निर्वाचन से काफी लिंक है और आपका जब री-इलेक्शन होता है तो आई गेस जनता की तरफ से वो ही एक पुरस्कार माना जाएगा। पर लीडरशिप की अगर बात करें गडकरी जी, तो लीडरशिप का क्या मायना आप इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आप मानते हैं और आपका लीडरशिप स्टाइल कैसे चेंज हुआ है, कैसे इवॉल्व हुआ है? आप नागपुर के क्षेत्र से 3 टाइम के एमपी रहे हैं, तो आपका लीडरशिप स्टाइल कैसे इवॉल्व हुआ है?
देखिए, फॉर एवरी लीडर vision is very important. You can donate eye, but you cannot donate vision. And the futuristic vision of our country is very important. We have big population and still we are facing the problem of unemployment, poverty. And for that reason we need to increase the productivity, and infrastructure is very important. Because water, power, transport and communication, these are the basic infrastructure. And without that we cannot get investment, capital investment. And without capital investment, industry and business, we cannot increase the employment potential. And without increasing the employment potential, we cannot eradicate the poverty. So it is very important for every country to increase the growth rate. And that's the reason that the vision of our Prime Minister to make India is Atmanirbhar Bharat, economy of $5 trillion, and we are the 3rd largest economy. That is the dream of our Prime Minister, to make Indian economy as 3rd largest economy in the world. For that reason, starting from small village up to the capital, everywhere we have to plan and visualize the futuristic planning and the implementation by considering the futuristic development. That is very important from the grassroots level to higher level. And I am from Nagpur, so I am starting my all development in Nagpur. Then I was in Maharashtra. I got offered to construct Varli-Bandra sailing project, 55 flyovers, Mumbai-Pune Express Highway. And after that in Delhi, now again the infrastructure is with me, road infrastructure is with me.
Yes.
And today we don't have any problem. No money problem, nothing, no problem. Because it's the Mumbai which gave us the support at the time when we start the 55 flyovers and Mumbai-Pune Express Highway. And just 6 months before, in Mumbai Stock Exchange, in our InvIT model, our bond issue was subscribed for 7 days. But first day, within 7 hours, it was 7 times oversubscribed. That is the support from the city. That is the reason. And we are now monetizing the road. Economic viability is good. My target is at least we have to make the road of 5 lakh crore per year. But there are some small problems, land acquisition, judiciary problem, then environment forest problem. Problem is always there. But I always telling to my people that there are some people who convert problems into opportunities, and there are some people who convert opportunities into the problems. So this is the already problem there, but we are trying our level best to make India as the 3rd largest economy in the world.
We know which camp you belong to, Mr. Gadkari. You've set us up very comprehensively with the many targets that you've laid out. So let me try and address each one of those. Let's start with the growth issue. We've just seen the Q2 GDP numbers come in, sir, and it's been slower than expected. The finance minister said that this is not a systemic slowdown. It's largely on account of the fact that we had elections, and so government capex was paused. What is the ask of the private sector? Do you believe that the government capex, the front loading that's happened there, will have to continue to be done in order for the economy to grow at a fast clip? What is the ask of the private sector today?
The private sector is very important. In our particular GDP, the 14% in growth that contributes from agriculture, 22 to 24% from the manufacturing sector, and 52 to 54% is from service sector. I am fully concentrated in agriculture. Now the problem is that once upon a time, 47, the 90% of the population belongs to agriculture, rural and tribal India. Now today this population 30% migrated to the urban area. And the problem is for 65% of the population, our growth rate is only 14%. So we need to have more irrigation, Jal, Jameen, Jungle and Janwar. We have to adopt the new technology. And because of I'm very much related to the agriculture, I always tell it to the farmers that the innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skill and successful practices, and particularly rural technology, this is the knowledge. And conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. So now I am from 2004, Mukesh Bhai knows that. I am constantly trying to diversification of agriculture towards energy and power sector. And today, the 22 lakh crores of import of the fossil fuel. I am not against any fossil fuel, but that because of that, we are 22 lakh crore going from the country. So if we can diversify this money to the rural agriculture and tribal India, our agriculture growth rate will go up to 22%, and that is going to create more purchasing power in the rural and tribal India. So today, just giving a small example, our government started making ethanol from corn. The last year, the cost of the corn was 1,200 rupees per quintal. But because we have taken the initiative, the cost is coming 2,400 rupees per quintal. The double income for the farmer is because of the policy. So that's the way we have to we need to have more concentration on agriculture, rural and tribal India. But it is not only with the government money. We need private public investment in it. And whatever the best practices in the world and the technology where we need to apply for that. And already it's a success story.
But do you believe that government capex is likely to aid growth in Q3 and Q4? At least as far as the sectors that you're concerned with, do you believe that we're likely to see a pickup as far as capex is concerned?
Up to the end of the year, I feel that there will be no problem. Because in my own department, my budget is 2,80,000 crore. I don't have any problem. Before March end, we will complete that.
You'll complete that. You brought up the issue of fossil fuels and, of course, your pet project, which is ethanol blending. So let me address both those. Let me talk to you about the electrification project that the government has been on a mission on. Now, FAME has sort of converted itself into PM eDrive. I know you've previously also said that it is time for industry to now start to look beyond subsidies. When do you believe we will be ready for a subsidy-less future as far as EVs are concerned? And is the government now looking at diversifying its way outside of just focusing on EVs? Because even today, penetration is still well under 10%. So the world over, we're seeing a retreat from electrification of mobility. Is the government looking at any change as far as strategy is concerned?
First of all, you need to understand the importance of automobile industry. It is with my department. Actually, when I taken charge as minister, the size of the industry was 7 lakh crore. Today, the size of our industry is 22 lakh crore. And this is the industry which is giving maximum revenue as a part of GST to the state and central government. This industry up till now creates 4 crore 50 lakh jobs. And now the maximum export is with this industry. Today, because of alternative fuel and biofuel, we are very much popular, and now I'm confident that domestic market is good. Now in world, USA is number one. They have the size of auto industry of 78 lakh crores. China is 47 lakh crore and India is 22 lakh crore. Now we have a target that within 10 years, we will be number one in the world because of alternative fuel and biofuel. And now you just understand. At the time when we have started electric vehicle, I remember the many people like you, the journalist asked me how it is going to happen. There was a lot of confusion in the mind of the people.
Yeah.
But at that time, the lithium ion battery rate was $150 per kilowatt per hour. Now today it comes to $110. And when it will come to $100 per kilowatt per hour, the cost of petrol, diesel vehicle and electric vehicle will same. And that is the reason today we have 400% rise. In some of the models, there is a waiting list now. And because if you are spending 120 rupees of petrol, for the same distance, for electric, the cost is 15 rupees. And even in the flex engine, now the Tata, Mahindra, Hyundai, then Toyota, and all these companies are now already started flex engine. And now that Rajiv is here, I just launched his CNG motorcycle. You understand the economics. Don't think about the pollution. At that time, his motorcycle for petrol cost is 2 rupees 25 paisa per kilometer. And for the CNG, it comes to 1 rupees. So it is cost effective. And that is the reason that the import substitute cost effective, pollution free and indigenous. And now because of the scrapping policy, we will reduce the cost of the components by 30% less. And will be more competitive in the world market. And I feel that our automobile industry will be number one. 100% I am confident about it.
Well, there are many people from the automobile industry here, so perhaps a round of applause for the automobile industry as well as for Mr. Gadkari's vision. But you talked about CNG. Is there a view now within government to, as I said, diversify the bets beyond just electrification and electric mobility to other?
Actually, to be frank, a lot of people asking me this question. The size of the fossil fuel economy is so big. Whatever the initiative we are taking for ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, LNG, CNG, electric, hydrogen, I got a hydrogen car. The name of the car is Mirai.
You've been driving that for a while.
Yes, the car is driving by the driver. I don't want to. But
You've been driven in it for a while.
Actually, hydrogen is the future. And the green hydrogen is the future. Because by electrolyzer process making hydrogen, for 1 kg of hydrogen, we need 150 unit of power. Now the municipal waste are by using biotechnology, generating biomass, using for getting it methane in biodigester. And from that methane, we can convert into hydrogen or we can convert into CNG. So a lot of municipal waste is available in the country. So that can be a cheaper source for hydrogen.
So I know you believe in waste to wealth, and that has been your mantra as well, Mr. Gadkari. But you brought up the issue of InvITs, and I think a lot of people here in the markets are also looking at the monetization pipeline that the government is focused on. What should we expect now as far as the road transport sector is concerned, sir, in terms of monetization?
My toll income is now 52,000 crore. And within 2 years, my income will go to 1,40,000 crore. We are making Green Express Highway, and there is no problem about the money is concerned. Because my every project is economically viable. The internal rate of return is good. At the same time, we have a good support from the Finance Ministry, having budget of 2,80,000 crore. And the most important thing, our Prime Minister has given the highest priority for development of infrastructure, water, power, transport and communication. And one thing is very important. Today the logistic cost in India is 16%, 14 to 16%. Yes. China it is 8%. And in European country and USA the cost is 12%. And now because of express highway, now Delhi to Mumbai, up to Baroda it is already completed, 60% work to JNPT also completed. So it will be 12 hours from Delhi to Mumbai. 2 hours from Chennai to Bangalore. It's just end of December, before December we start that project. Yeah. Then Dehradun to Delhi, 2 hours. Delhi to Jaipur, 2 hours. Delhi to Amritsar, 4 hours. So by which we will reduce the logistic cost as far as the speed is concerned. And the other important thing is, in place of diesel, if they are going to use CNG, LNG, or even any alternative fuel, or electric trucks are now coming to the market. So that is going to reduce the logistic cost. And I'm sure that within 2 to 3 years, our logistic cost will be 9%, single digit. 9%,
that's your target. That's what you're working towards. Because that's one of the big issues as far as competitiveness is concerned.
I'm telling you about one thing. In my all political career, no journalist can ask me any question about my declaration. I'm 100% proved to be successful in that, but it's a very difficult task. It's not so easy. But I'm sure about it that because of the roads and because of the fuel, 100% it will be going to single digit. So and then we will be more competitive into the export market. Because the 6% logistic cost which is going to reduce, 100% we will be more competent and there will be huge potential for the industry and business in the export.
So 9% in terms of logistics costs in 2 years, Mr. Gadkari, is that okay? 2 to 3 years. Is that your commitment here at India Business Leader Awards? There's lots of witnesses, sir.
Actually, the two things which I related with me. Now we are starting. I am thinking I request the investor to invest me. we are planning for making electric highway from Delhi to Jaipur, the cable. And now we are just, when I was in Yugoslavia, I got appointed to visit Skoda. So I requested to MD of Tata, Wag. So you make joint venture, there's a flash charging is there. And first project we have sanctioned, the bus is 18-meter length, and that is flash charging here, there for 40 kilometer. And first project is sanctioned in Nagpur. I am doing as a pilot project. And the charging system technology is from Siemens and Hitachi. And now 2-3 companies are now in the process of making this trolley bus. So that can be a very cheaper transport. We can reduce the ticket rate by 30%. I remember when I got appointed to launch electric double-decker bus in Mumbai from Ashok Leyland. That is going to reduce the cost and at the same time reduce the pollution. So as a fuel, the cost involved in electric is very cheaper. If you are spending 100 rupees on petrol or diesel, the electric that cost will be 10 to 12%. Now the people are doing solar panels, rooftop. Again, that cost is going to reduce. So that is going to make miracles, in particular in the all fields. But
Mr. Gadkari, you've been India's longest serving Minister for Road Transport and Highways. Ladies and gentlemen, over 10 years in office he's spent. But let me ask you this, you talked about the target that you've set of 5 lakh kilometers annually as far as road construction is concerned. In your experience and in your assessment, what have been the biggest obstacles? What are the biggest deterrents? And since we're talking about the road to 2047, what are the things that you would like to change?
Actually, frankly speaking, even when I was minister in Mumbai, to getting clearance for Worli-Bandra link project, I have to struggle for 2 years. There was a public agitation. And actually you understand, this is very important for Mumbaikar to understand. When I awarded that project to SSC company with the cost of 420 crore, lastly the payment given by government to him is 1800 crore and people are paying the toll. And that was, the project was stopped by the honorable justice, honorable politicians, and the people was telling, Ambedkar ka smarak khatam ho jayega, Savarkar ka smarak khatam ho jayega, machli ka dhanda band ho gaya. Once I remember, I know some of the English paper journalists have taken them with that boat and taking to that Worli. वहाँ तो पूरा गटर था, वहाँ मच्छी थी नहीं, तो वो गंदा स्मेल आने लगा तो बोले नहीं निकलो यहाँ से, बोला नहीं रुको यहाँ. अब मुझे बताओ मछली दिखती है क्या? मछली पानी में होती है, गटर में होती है कभी नहीं. तुम लिखते क्यों चेचे कॉलम? तब वो सब करते करते वो प्रोजेक्ट हुआ. सो देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम्स रिलेटेड लैंड एक्विजिशन, कोर्ट केसेस, already many problems are there, but it is the test of the leadership. I remember the Bala Saheb Thackeray once gave me a slogan written on the acrylic sheet. And I was telling him, sir, Bala Saheb, ये problem है. बोले नितिन, I will tell you one thing. थापा को बुलवाया, मुझे उन्होंने पट्टी दी, उसमें लिखा था, I like people who can get the things done. बोले don't tell me all these things. I want to complete this project, you should do it. So that is to be positivity and commitment and transparency and corruption-free system. That is very important, by which we can achieve that goal.
Well, Mr. Gadkari, thank you very much for joining us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who can get things done. We wish you the very best of luck. Appreciate your time and joining us once again at the India Business Leader Awards. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a huge round of applause for Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari. Thank you, Shireen, for taking that conversation forward. Well, taking the evening forward, it is now time to celebrate the move